So here in my 4Runner, this is my EVAP canister, and this is my purge valve that's supposed to be connected right here, but for some reason, you know, it's old, it's dirty, it's rusty, how that bolt would fall off there if I tried even breaking it loose, but yeah, it's all right here, nice and dandy. You see we got one hose that goes all the way to the air intake, we got another that goes into the intake manifold, and then we have one that goes down here. So, and then come over here, and if you pull the back seat up on the driver's side and pull up, you have access to your fuel pump system. Now you can't pull your fuel pump out from here, but you can access it.
Okay, here we are checking resistance on the VSV. See the spec at the bottom there is 30 to 34 ohms at 68 degrees Fahrenheit.
And
you come down here,
we are at 31.4 ohms, which is a little bit on the low side, but it is within specifications. And we have about the same temperature in the lab today, so I'd say she's functioning.
Okay, next test is to ground it to the body of the VSV itself and check for continuity. There shouldn't be any.
And even though this thing's crusty as hell, there's no continuity.
Okay, the next test is to make sure that air does not flow from port E to port F.
I don't personally recommend, you know, just doing this, but it's not flowing, so it's good. Here we have Chase with the key on engine off, checking the 5-volt reference at the vapor pressure sensor. And you can see right here it's at about 5 volts, so it is getting proper voltage. Here we are checking the leak detection sensor on my evaporative system, and we're seeing it's reading about 3.2 volts, so there might be some resistance going from somewhere, but it is getting a voltage supply. Here's Chase, and we're doing a smoke test on my 4Runner. If you want to hit it, Chase. So nothing seems to be leaking up here anywhere. And we can check that because if we disconnect this hose, you'll see smoke come out of it. But if we come down under here, there's smoke coming out of my frame rail. So we're thinking that's where the vent is. So today Chase and I are filming inside this 1999 Buick due to the fact that my vehicle didn't have enough fuel on it to do a proper EVAP system check. And yeah. So we're gonna see what we can pull up on this thing. Here we have the Buick running, and we had to let it wait up a little bit because, as you can see, the operating conditions we need is to have the ECT at about 77 degrees and have had the engine running from coal for about 3 minutes, so that is in closed loop. And it has just about been 3 minutes. Unfortunately, the gauge cluster does not seem to be working here, but we do have coolant and fuel temperatures. Now that the Buick has been running for a little bit, we do have proper fuel, as it is between the 15 to 85% ratio, and the vehicle has started to warm up. We can see that the purge, is at about 12%, but we have had a range from 0 to 20% so far, and it will shut off at 60% and will not turn back on until about 58%. Here we have some diagnosis information for our Buick, and we can see that the borrow should be at about 75 kilopascals. If we come over here to our vehicle, which we just had running, but we turned it off, we're about at 29.8 inches of mercury, and when I converted the 75 kilopascals from all data over there, it should be reading about 22.147. As you can see here, our fuel tank pressures and then our fuel level sensor, so that is good to test to make sure that was between the 15 and 85%, which is good. And currently with the vehicle running, our EVAP vent solenoid is open, our purge is at about 12, and our tank pressure in mercury is 0. So I went ahead to go check for any codes for the vehicle, seeing that we had open in the EVAP system, and we have a P0449 that shows the EVAP system vent control circuit is low.